funny to me when I see a brand get upset that it's actually not an influencer's job to sell.
Hi, I'm Naomi, and welcome to Own Your Influence, the podcast. It is your ultimate guide to leveraging your influence, making a meaningful impact, and taking ownership of the power of the word that has been sullied and devalued all over the internet. Together, we'll explore how influencers and creators can leverage brand partnerships as a stepping stone to serve their big picture mission and vision. We're putting the spotlight on invaluable cutting-edge influencer marketing techniques from my experience as a micro-influencer since 2012 and as an influencer talent manager, along with strategies on how to scale from a side hustling content creator to CEO using the power of social media. So without further ado, let me empower you today to create lasting change and harness the full potential of your platform.
All right. Hey guys, welcome to our first ever episode. I am literally so excited to launch this podcast finally. I know a lot of you guys have been asking for it. I have been wanting to start the podcast for like a couple years now. It just never came to fruition. Obviously, just timing. I've always been kind of like overwhelmed of like, how do I start a podcast? Like, how do I put this together? And I was telling someone this earlier, that maybe it's a little bit about like me getting traumatized from filming so many videos and editing so many videos on YouTube. But I'm just so happy that we are finally getting this done today. And if this is your first time, stumbling upon me and my podcast and my platform and my world, welcome. My name is Naomi. I have been in the influencer industry since 2012. I started out as a beauty blogger, actually. And as that micro influencer career kind of progressed, I transitioned into being a content creator influencer coach, primarily in business and brand partnerships, monetization. That's kind of my bread and butter, just because I love being able to help people. Like for me, I started this like really just helping my influencer friends win, because I was like, if I'm winning, I want you to be winning with me. And I didn't know I had such a really good knack at it that it just kind of naturally evolved this way. I also am an influencer talent manager for Boost Society, where I negotiate brand partnerships on other influencers and creators' behalf. And over the last maybe 3 years since 2021, I've been able to help generate over $2.5 million in brand partnerships for influencers and creators, like doing it for them, but also helping them generate that income on their own without a manager, which is something that I have more pride in over anything, because I want to empower influencers and creators to take ownership of their influence and their impact and their business as well. I really wanted to come in hot because I wanted to kind of debunk this general misconception of what influencers and content creators actually do in the realm of brand deals, because there's a lot of brands who are under the impression that they hire influencers and immediately expect sales. And it's really funny to me when I see a brand get upset that it's actually not an influencer's job to sell, and that when you're hiring an influencer and creator, that it's not a part of their scope to sell. It shouldn't be an expectation. So let's dive into it, because this particular brand, and I know a lot of brands actually do this as well, uses an affiliate program to qualify influencers who can sell, but won't compensate them for the amount of deliverables that they're requiring in exchange. But before we dive into everything, I did want to give you guys an overall definition of marketing and sales and why it's so important to understand the difference between the two and how they work together. So, and this is just a dictionary definition of marketing and sales. So, marketing is a job that involves encouraging people to buy a product or service. It is the work of
advertising and offering goods or services that are for sale. And then marketing obviously comes first before the sale. Marketing prepares willing customers to buy the company's goods or services. And then sales is the transfer of ownership of and title to property from one person to another for the price. Makes sense. Means the transferring of goods and services in exchange for money, while marketing means the persuading of customers and promoting the goods or services. So this fashion brand wanted to collaborate with one of my clients, and just like any other like inbound email, I tell them that she only accepts paid partnerships. We basically asked, does this collaboration have a budget on top of, the affiliate that you are looking for? Because they did have quite a bit of requirements in exchange for the affiliate commission. So the brand responds to this: as you are probably aware, in the fashion influencer industry, and finding our influencers is hard work, since up to 95% of the industry of fashion influencers actually do not sell. Haha, shocker. This is why we have a very clear system in which we are having a first collaboration offering a gift card and commission from sales, and also 20% discount for your followers to enjoy. Once we receive good results, we can work again with different terms. And so they kind of listed what you'll receive. So they'll receive a $100 gift card, 10% commission from all the sales that they're able to generate, and then 20% coupon code for all of their followers to enjoy. The deliverables are a TikTok video post that's about 60 seconds long, 2 pictures with the product on you, and then both edited and raw content without edits, cuts, filters, text, or music are required to be sent. If you guys are not watching the actual video footage, I'm literally rolling my eyes. So if you've been following me for a while, you've heard me say this a lot. Probably been saying this since 2021. Influencers are marketers, not salespeople. And there's a reason why the industry is called influencer marketing. It's not called influencer sales. And that's because you cannot ask influencers and content creators to guarantee sales for you. It will always be a gamble, a risk. But yes, I totally agree. Creators and influencers should develop the ability to convert if they want to work with brands long term and they want to be a commodity in the marketplace. Because yes, if you are marketing for a brand, you have to be persuasive in getting, the consumers, your audience, any type of person that's watching your content to want to purchase this product or service. However, when brands hire content creators, they also have to understand the gamble, and that's why you do your best to make that educated risk. But it shouldn't just be on the backs of influencers and creators. It's a collaboration and it's a partnership. That's why it's called that. So the brand really has to help set up for the creator and influencer to succeed. It can't be like, I require you to make 50,000 sales off of this one post before we pay you. Are you freaking serious? That doesn't make sense to me at all. Here's also a great analogy. Hiring a creator and influencer to promote a product is kind of the same as buying a billboard space or a commercial slot on TV or a magazine spread. Do you only pay the TV company or the billboard companies or the magazine if you see a spike in sales? Absolutely not. That's actually bonkers. There is no way for you to gauge, okay, let's say you had a billboard that was up for maybe 3 months. When you see a spike in sales, you can't measure hey, it came from that specific billboard. That's why that spot on, this intersection is going to be a hot commodity. Let's pay them more. That doesn't make sense. Yes, you can time things, but when you are such a big company and you have so many billboards and so many things happening, or so many commercials, billboards, magazine spreads, you have to make sure that you're tracking those appropriately. And sometimes it's not really trackable, especially if they're likely going to go in store to purchase the product or service versus buying it online. You can't control the funnel of how sales are made, because you don't know how the consumer likes to buy. Like, you don't know if they like to buy online directly right at the spot, or they want to think about it, make some comparisons before buying, or they actually want to go in store and try the product, feel the product before actually making the purchase. And if you look at it from a B2B perspective, the creator is offering a service to create the content and promote the brand. You expect the creator, right, to put in hours to come up with a concept, negotiations, reading contracts, invoicing, setting up the affiliate link, filming the content, editing the content, getting their audience hyped up and rallied even before they post the content, and then also utilize the resources, right? So you want them to have high quality footage. So they're going to be using their camera. They're going to use an editing software. They're going to, make sure that the lighting is on, like, intact. So if, natural lighting isn't working, they have to invest in high quality lighting. Maybe that $100 gift card is not enough to produce the content, and that they have to spend more money out of their own pocket in order to complete the looks or whatever, if they're going to be doing like OOTDs or like, different outfit changes, things like that. In order to produce a fully edited TikTok video that has the ability to convert, and then you add 2 photos, and then to also send all the edited and raw footage over to the brand. So what? So that they can use it. Like, there's no other reason why they would want raw footage and edited footage just for it to be sitting in a folder. Of course they're going to use it. So they're going to be using it where? On their socials, their website, maybe email marketing, ads, print, commercial footage. The list can go on. They actually didn't disclose what they're going to be using it for. It wasn't really clear. In exchange for the possibility to get paid, to me, this sounds so one-sided and not at all like collaboration. But then let's go a level deeper. So for me, I am all about the numbers. I love looking at data. I used to be a structural engineer. And so for me, it gives me so much peace of mind when I look at the numbers and make the numbers make sense. That absolutely justifies my argument as to why I can't work with you or why this doesn't work for me. I looked at the numbers of possible commission from the sales. So they said it's 10% for every sale that's generated through this creator. So 10% is around $5 to $7 per piece of clothing. So I kind of just like scoured, okay, like if I were an actual consumer or like a customer, what would I be buying? If I were to purchase something from this website, the commission for 10% is around $5 to $7. That's not even minimum wage, you guys. So in order for the creator to actually meet the actual rate for a TikTok and photos and raw content, she'd have to generate around 400 to 500 sales minimum, all in one shot. 400 to 500 sales. Does that sound fair or even realistic to you? Because you guys, like, if you're even remotely familiar with sales, I mean, for me, I learned sales in my journey in this career. It takes a few touch points for someone to talk about a product to get a healthy conversion. Especially, worst case scenario, this creator has never talked about this brand before. So essentially, you're trying to motivate the creator to actually produce more content for free for more possibilities of them making more money in commission. Right? 10%. So if she were to post more, let's say 1 more TikTok, 2 more TikToks, she will actually never break even. And in my opinion, it's such a poor business move to me when brands lean on influencers and creators for the results of their sales, when it should be the brand's responsibility to come up with a marketing and sales plan and strategy. They have to understand that influencers and creators only play a small role in that. And that should be plug and play. Like, they should have a campaign or a plan in place where we know that we need influencers and creators to help us move the needle and help us generate the sales that we're looking for, help us get the ROI that we're looking for. To me, if it were any campaign that I'm putting together and strategizing around, it doesn't matter which creators and influencers are going to be in the campaign. I know for a fact that this strategy is full foolproof. This strategy is designed to help the influencer and creator succeed, and that they have everything, all the tools, they're well equipped to understand what the goal is, and that we are all collectively as a team moving towards that one goal. It should be predictable at that point. For me, if I were to run a campaign on behalf of a brand and I were to hire influencers and creators, I will pick and choose and be very intentional about who I'm picking and choosing for the campaign, for the goal. So for example, my goal is sales. I'm going to find the right influencer and creator to help me generate those sales. But also, realistically, I have to understand the numbers of conversion, and that I cannot lean on the influencers and creators to be doing that for me. Like for me, I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that I can control the results. And that's just me. I'm, maybe I am too type A and control freak to be like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm controlling the results like as much as possible. There's actually a really good example that I wanted to share. I had a brand partner that I was working with on behalf of one of my management clients, and they're very new to influencer marketing. We offered them a reel and a TikTok, and this reel and this TikTok went viral. They were not expecting that. Honestly, they were just trying to get as many people through the door. This creator is actually a micro influencer, but they really wanted to work with her because she creates content to where she's like your one-stop shop for everything that you need for like spas and things like that. Again, they were still fairly new to influencer marketing, and they did not expect that this creator, her content was going to go viral on both platforms. Over 1 million views on Instagram Reels. And because of that, it really flooded their website, because I think she had a booking link for the website, and because the company or the owner did not have their website set up properly and smoothly, they lost all of that traffic, which was obviously very unfortunate. Coming back to what I said before, a brand should already have a marketing and sales strategy in place to where after the marketing is done, you have to be prepared on how to receive the sales. For example, there's a link. I'm promoting this brand. I'm promoting their product or service. Here's the link for you guys to check out if you want to buy their product or book their services or something like that. When the consumer leaves the platform, it is the brand's job to make sure that you are helping that consumer, whoever clicks on that link, and move them from clicking the link to the sale. To me, it's all about user experience, customer service, right? So once they get to that link, what are you doing in order for them to actually hit purchase? Not have to think twice or oh, I saw it, I thought about it, maybe I'll do it next week. Essentially, take action, have that urgency to take action right away. And I think that's what a lot of brands are missing when it comes to hiring influencers and creators, that once they leave an influencer's platform, they have no control over how that's gonna move. They're not gonna be bombarding all of her followers and be like, hey, I know you clicked on this, did you buy yet? Did you buy it? They can't track who's clicking, right? They have no idea who's clicking those at all hours of the day to be like, hey, I'm just checking in. I wanted to send you a DM. You've made the purchase yet because this promotion ends on Saturday or something like that. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. For me, doing both marketing and sales for my company, I understand how the needle is moved and how funnels work. When you hire an influencer and creator, it doesn't stop there. You still have to do the work of moving the sale into an actual purchase. I think that's the missing mark with brands who have these high expectations of you have to make sales for us, because you didn't actually hire the influencer and creator to be the salesperson. There's nothing in the contract that says that. It says you are to promote, you are to market, you are to talk about the product to persuade your followers or the consumer or whoever is watching their piece of content to check out their products, to buy their products. What's the benefit? So here's how I responded. Thank you so much for sending this over. Do you have a budget for a formal partnership? we don't usually look at commission earnings as compensation for the content and promotion produced, as this creator is an influencer, not a hired salesperson. It also looks like you are requiring raw video and photo content, which requires licensing fees if you are looking to use this outside of her social media platforms. So if you have a budget to properly compensate her for the production of what you're looking for, I'm happy to discuss details and rates. And of course, we get ghosted, but there's actually no real value for us to be working with this brand anyway, because you're creating all of this content and there's not even an exchange of this is what you're going to be compensated, guaranteed, for the hours and the resources that you've put in to produce this content. And, it's whatever. It's honestly too bad, because this particular creator that they reached out to is actually pretty good at converting immediate sales. But, for me as a manager, when I know that they're highly converting, that's leverage for me to increase the rates and actually charge more for it. So it's their loss. And look, you guys, I know that you're sick and tired of these affiliate offers disguising themselves as paid offers. Honestly, I'm sick and tired for you. I want you to know you have a lot of value as an influencer and creator, and you need to be able to navigate these conversations effectively so brands can stop taking advantage and gaslighting influencers and creators into thinking this is the only way to partner with a brand, take it or leave it. There's always a way. There's always other brands that actually respect creators and influencers and understand the role that they play and understand how much money they are saving by hiring an influencer and creator versus putting together a whole production team for a commercial. They can spend well over 6 figures for a 60-second commercial, but they're saving all of that money by hiring an influencer and creator that already has that type of platform and that type of influence and that kind of reach, and that's what they're tapping into. And that's why I created my programs, the Spawn Master, the Brand Deal Accelerator, so influencers and creators like you stop getting taken advantage of. And you know that from jump. You know who's worth your time, who's not worth your time. You know what you're worth. You know how to advocate for yourself. And that's also why I launched this podcast, because I always want to be empowering you guys to learn how to be a business owner and how to think like a business owner, because brands are out there betting their big dollars that they'll find a clueless creator and influencer who will be willing to make them millions of dollars for basically nothing, for $5, $7. It's bonkers. The amount of support that brands have to create this kind of revenue and the lack of support that influencers and creators have to understand how all of this works, how to leverage business and how to have a business mindset is crazy to me. I hope you guys enjoy this and stay tuned for all of the episodes this season. We have a hot lineup of topics, interviews from industry experts and fellow content creators and influencers, just to show you guys that you can 100% succeed in this industry. So I'll see you guys on my next episode. Love ya. Mean it.